watermelon.
That's a great start to the stream. Giant sneeze.
Yeah,
No.
sorry for anybody that was waiting for us to get started and had the video ready and heard that sneeze immediately.
I will apologize because that means you are someone who was so excited for our show that as soon as that alert that came up, you were like, "Amen." Actually, you couldn't even got the alert that fast. You would have had been like clicking her name like live, live, live. There we go. You'd have to be the person that shows up to a retail place and you're banging on the door and looking in and it's like 7:59. 8 o'clock. Let me in. Doing the whole Eric Andre, let me in thing.
Come on. Like doing the Karen.
Because it was Eric Andre outside of the White House, right? They had the one at the end fence. Let me in.
Let me in. Look at Eric Andre. I love that guy so much.
Thankfully it's him because I'm one of many people who only know it as Key and Peel, but if you put them both in front of my face, I'd be like, I don't know which one's which. Peel's the one with the GIF meme that has him like sweating bullets, right?
Yeah, he's the short one. He's the
one with hair.
One.
The one with hair.
Yeah, the one with hair. Yeah, there we go. Because short's offensive. We'll call him the one with hair.
One's more of an average build, the other one's tall and lanky.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's an average build. Just short.
So it's like Brandon and me together. Just give us both a couple inches in height at least.
Yeah. And then give Brandon like at least like a good 30-40 pounds in weight. Because he's like, Keegan is skinny, but he's definitely not like Brandon needs to eat a meal skinny.
That's why I always gave him that one terrible nickname. Brandon's my starving African. Like that skinny.
At one point, yeah. Like
not as much now, but
not as much now. But yeah, at one point I was like, dog, do you ever eat?
It was like, if you punch him in the stomach, will you end up doing a Mortal Kombat fatality?
That man needed some food. That's all I got to say. Happy he's eating food now.
You want to know what's the worst part about this? I'm so used to habit to grabbing my phone, make sure it's awake, so that way I could pull up my notes.
Hell yeah, you got notes.
None.
Yeah, you do. You got big time notes here. That reminds me, I should keep my notes up because some of my notes are not on there. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So just for my knowledge, where did you walk in at?
The match had already started.
Okay.
One of the first things I got to see was Bowens and Dax doing chops in the corner, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that Bowens' chops were just as good as Dax's.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Just had to know where you were at.
Just remember, as you try to lead this, you know how there might be a segment in the beginning and a segment in the middle or towards the end?
Mm-hmm.
Just try to bundle anything related together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're about to do that. Hell yeah. All right, let's do this. We're going to start this show thing.
I'm going to go quiet for about 5 seconds because it will be exactly 5 minutes in that I got cut. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. There was another episode of Acclaimed every Wednesday on TBS. Acclaimed presenting us with the show Dynamite.
Hell yeah. Let's go Acclaimed.
I'm just saying that over there.
I am range of motions, baby.
And this show is going to be a little bit different, even though you get to hear me mostly talking in the beginning here. Yeah. After this, it's going to be not a whole lot of me because, sadly, as I've been told, that this is a great, possibly Dynamite of the year. This guy only saw about 25% of it. Holiday party, work holiday parties, amazing food, but apparently also an amazing Dynamite.
Yeah. I saw the pictures that he sent me, and that party looked dope. They had violinists playing them in the background, candelabras on the table, fancy everything, wine, and I'm sure if anyone that's watched us before has probably seen me drink wine.
But you haven't seen me drink ever.
You know how much I love me some wine. So as soon as he said there was lots of wine on the table, I was like, God dang. I want to be there so bad. But tonight was an incredible Dynamite. So we went to the Blood and Guts during the summer. And that one holds a special place in my heart. But we're just gonna talk about it today. This, for me, is one of the best Dynamites of the year, if not the best Dynamite this year. Like I'm still reeling. It's less than a half hour after the show ended. Maybe I might say, nah, this wasn't the best Dynamite tomorrow after I slept, but wow.
To be fair, I feel like with the number of events that we've gone to over the last 6 months, I feel like when we know, we know.
Yeah.
Like we left even All Out super, super hyped about certain moments of that show, but we also knew that as far as quality matches and everything, All Out really kind of lacked.
Yeah. The I don't know. There was moments at all, and not.
It's basically not like the trios match was awesome. The Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory was awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck the main event, but MJF.
Yeah, MJF's return, but that match sucked because it was all overshadowed by the existence of the Firm, in which we were very happy to get MJF back.
So I'm gonna give everyone some heartbreaking news real quick. My wax pen currently dead battery, and I can't find the cord. My old pen, battery just died on it, so I need to charge it.
Oh,
and I don't know what happened to my spare.
Double O.
Whoa, found it. Toker's got a toke.
Hey.
I have a show and a brand name to live up to, damn it.
Yeah, you better get token. Because otherwise we're just top rope. And everybody's got the top rope.
Or just be part of Swerve's music. Top rope tokes. Top rope tokes.
Top. Dude. So you know what? I'm gonna get into the show. I think I'm gonna start from the top of the show because we started out with a bang.
I wouldn't know, so tell me all about it.
So we had the Dynamite Battle Royale to
start
the match, or start the night.
That makes sense.
So I don't even remember who all was in this match, people were getting eliminated fast. Because obviously there's a lot of people in this match that weren't gonna do anything.
All I know is I saw on the graphic card that Dalton Castle was supposed to be in
Yes.
it, and I've
Yes. Go back and watch it. Dalton Castle. It's he's just incredible. Just the mix of comedy and the fact that he's just really good wrestling. Like the flamboyance, along with the fact that he'll pull off moves that nobody else can. It's ridiculous. And that whole boys thing, it's starting to grow on me now. Because at first I was like, I really don't like the idea of this manservant thing. And I'm like, no.
Why are they showing sex slaves on TV?
I was like, yeah, that's why I was like, are these like his sex slaves? And I'm like, they might be, but whatever, it's cool. So I'm all in on Dalton Castle. Of course, he gets a little nice offense in, but he was definitely just here for the fans to be like, yay, Dalton Castle's there. So, but yeah, he gets a nice little bangarang, and that was about it for him. He was just screaming at people, and the boys were dancing on the outside of the ring.
So, question for you. Have you seen one of these Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royals before?
This was my first one.
So, if you didn't catch, because I'm sure they probably talked about it, because they kept hinting to it, that this one's going to have different rules, because MJF's the only one that wins it. Usually, the winner of this one will face, like, the winner of the last one, like the whoever holds the ring. Or something like that, because the very first one they just basically said the last two people would then have a match for the ring.
No, so it was just winner faces MJF.
But the winner was already going to face MJF. Ricky Starks 2 title shots.
I'm gonna say Ricky was already going to face MJF, but yeah, the winner faced MJF and they win $150,000. That was the prize money for this one. I got a couple highlights here in this match.
Do I need a graphic?
No. Actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. You're going to need it, but not yet. Hold on. Let me get there first. The Egyptian. Of course, highlights of this match are the firm effectively has 3 members in this match, because Matt Hardy's on the payroll. Lee Moriarty and Ethan Page are in here already. Ethan Page barely even wrestled in this match. He just told Matt Hardy what to do, and Matt Hardy wrestles better when he's being told what to do, because he was kicking ass out there. Like, he eliminated more people than anybody else in the match.
Things you would never thought you would say about Matt Hardy in 2022.
Matt Hardy even got down to the final 3. And, Ricky Starks got rid of him, of course, but he got down to the final 3. That's what's up.
So who was the third? Ethan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You already know Ethan Page. I assumed you already figured that Starks and Ethan Page had to be the last 2.
Yeah, that's why it was an easy guess.
You'll never guess who the 4th one was, though. Because it was kind of like down to the final 4 for a while.
Serpentico.
No.
Was Jungle Boy in this match?
Yes, he was.
Because for purposes of that, it would make sense for it to be Jungle Boy, but you say I would never guess it, so that's why I had to jokingly throw out Serpentico.
Yeah.
Dante Martin.
Yeah. Nope. Gone. Out of this early.
Danhausen.
Wish he was in it.
After that, because in my head, when you say you'll never guess, I have to think of the oddball ones, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it was Captain Sean Dean.
they've been talking about his whole thing with MJF a lot on social media.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like now that you say that, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense that he's kind of getting back, or they're going to kind of put him back on TV now. Because I was like, why is he still in there? Why is he even there at all?
I wonder if he was out with injury or they didn't have
It,
anything for him. But I will say, I would not be surprised based on the interactions if
Mhm.
I know Ethan Page and MJF knew each other for a while. I think Ricky Starks might also be in that group. And I wonder if Sean Dean also kind of came up because they're all, maybe not
Yeah.
Ethan, but they're all kind of close in age.
Yeah. Since you mentioned that, I'll talk about that part there. When it got down to the final four, Hardy and Page were teaming up on Starks, and Sean Dean actually helped Starks. I didn't know that they had any kind of connection before, so that makes it make sense to me now.
But also face versus heel and kind of heel.
Yeah. So he saved Ricky Starks from losing this match because Hardy and Page were about to throw him out until Sean Dean was like, nah, eliminate me first. He pretty much got eliminated right after saving Starks. Which, it is what it is. So, but before I get to the end of this match, I have to rewind just a little bit here because I kind of got out of order in this thing. But, since we mentioned certain people, I figured I'd talk about the spots that were important with them. But Jungle Boy, as you mentioned, he was in this match. My hit of the night comes not from Jungle Boy, but from something that happens to Jungle Boy. When Jungle Boy gets eliminated, W. Morrissey is on the side of the ring. By the way, Jungle Boy had just eliminated Lee Moriarty. Ethan Page eliminated Jungle Boy as he's getting rid of Lee Moriarty. W. Morrissey grabs Jungle Boy by the throat on the outside of the ring, choke slams this man, like almost lands on his neck on the ring apron. Like he landed like barely on his upper shoulders. Dude, like if it was 2 inches lower, Jungle Boy probably would never wrestle again. Like that looked brutal. I was like, holy, like his Jungle Boy's face said, that's not how it was supposed to happen. Because he's like, oh, fuck. Like, he was not supposed to land like that.
Well, I mean, his dad was big in Hollywood. He could just have great acting chops.
Like fake pain, you can pick out fake pain. It looked like he was really hurting. Like, oh shit, that's not how the landing was supposed to happen. Because he almost got dropped on his fucking neck.
And it's AEW, somebody gets dropped on their neck every single match. That is both good and bad.
When you go back and see the, like, I need you to see that part. When you go back and see it, you'll see why it ended up being hit of the night for me.
But it's also why we cringe so much when we watch some of these matches, because they will get kind of flirty with that line of dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, let me get to the end of this match here because there's a whole lot after the match too. This whole thing was the first 35 minutes of the show ish. So Ricky Starks is eliminating Matt Hardy while Ethan Page is looking away because he has decided that Matt Hardy can do all the work by himself. But that does not work in his favor, obviously. He gets Ricky Starks up to try and egos edge him out of the ring, and of course he counters it, knocks Ethan Page out the ring. Ricky Starks wins. He gets another match with MJF, I think, maybe.
Let's give them a best of
I
seven
guess.
series too while we're at it.
I feel like that you might as like it at the very least might as well be best of 3 since it's going to be 2 matches. But yeah, before Ricky even gets to think about celebrating, MJF's music hits. Like the bell rang and then MJF's music was hitting already. He was on his way down to the ring. Like you see Ricky like, oh, fuck, I gotta talk. Like you can see him like asking for a bottle of water because he knows he's got a long talking segment coming up. He's like, and he starts chugging it. The camera cuts away from him, and back to MJF as he's heading out there. Typical MJF. I'm the champ. Even though he walked like he was the champ before he was the champ.
I mean, like, Willow was always the main event. MJF has basically been just world champion, just on ground.
True. 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 Very true. But dude, MJF starts going off on Starks as soon as he comes out there. And he's like, yeah, you're good, but all you are is dollar store Dwayne. He says, like he made a lot of, without saying The Rock, he made a whole lot of references to The Rock in this. He called him Dollar Store Dwayne. He says he's going to start calling him the Pebble because he's like a little version of Dwayne.
I mean, Dwayne is like twice
he's
his
gonna
size.
Kick his Rudy. Yeah, he's gonna kick his Rudy Poo Candy ass. Because you can't. Because you can't be original. He's like, yeah. He mentions that Ricky Starks can't be original. He basically just jocks off The Rock, and I'm like, yeah, he does a lot, but it's not too much to where you're like he's a direct ripoff. But he went in on the things about him. He said that he is going to make Ricky Starks go back to NWA and wrestle on YouTube where he belongs.
Just go to dark.
Yeah. MJF is actually like so earlier they did mention that Austin, Texas, where they are for this show, is I guess another place that Ricky Starks has spent a lot of time. So they love Ricky Starks here. So MJF is getting booed this whole time. Like, for the first time since he's been back, he's getting booed hard. Because the crowd is very pro Ricky. But Ricky gets his chance to get some time in here. MJF actually tried to give him the mic. And he's like, nah, I don't want that mic. He goes and all the way to the other side of the ring and grabs his own mic. Immediately, he says, all right, Maxi Pad. And then he just shits on MJF from head to toe. Talking about his spray tan and just how gross he looks. Look at his skin. He looks like an old man, leathery skin. Like, look at his outfit. His clothes are wrinkled. His shoes are ugly. His shirt's too tight. His nose is a different color than the rest of his body. Like, he was going hard too. But he was just talking about how cheap all his clothes are. And I'm like, yeah, he still does kind of have the J.C. Penney looking outfits. But then he starts to get a little bit more serious about him. And his history with Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is a place that, basically he spent a lot of his early wrestling career there, living out of his car. He had to struggle. He's lived on the streets. He's had to wrestle a lot in the indies, unlike MJF, and MJF has never really had to prove himself. He says he deserves this. He's going to beat that little boy because he's definitely not bigger than MJF, but he's taller because MJF's short.
Yeah, we were watching a
And then
match
he
recently, and
steps
it
up in
really
his
showed
face.
how like thin Ricky is compared to his competition.
Yeah. Yeah, like Ricky is definitely a skinny dude compared to other wrestlers. But he's definitely taller than MJF. He steps up to MJF's face and he's got like MJF is down here, he's up here. MJF is just like, nah, I'm just gonna cock punch you. And not like normal wrestling uppercut to the junk, just
I'm renaming it from thinking of Johnny Cage when I think of that straight shot to the crotch to the Danhausen dick punch.
yeah. Danhausen dick punch. Yeah, that was definitely a Danhausen dick punch. Just straight cock punches him. And he's not even done yet. He lines up the shot with the ring. Ricky ducks it, comes off the ropes, hits a spear on MJF. And the best part, he ends the segment staring at MJF while holding his balls and the belt. That was my favorite part of that. So I'm like, yeah, so like I don't think he thought about the fact that he was going to be holding his balls and the belt at the same time. Like it wasn't like it was just like, oh, my balls hurt. But
It's
still,
okay.
to me, it was
In
he was
about
holding his balls and a belt at the same time. Like, yeah, motherfucker.
in about 2 years, we'll probably get to see it for real, and he'll actually get to redo it as a champion with perhaps a little bit more muscle mass.
Maybe, hopefully, something.
Because we know that belt is not leaving MJF anytime soon.
Oh yeah, no. But I think that Ricky Starks is definitely the best person you can throw at him right now. Because it's only going to help elevate Ricky Starks a little bit here.
But that's why I say this. That's why I say the whole, when I say in 2 years, I did not mean whatsoever in like a disrespect, say like, oh, it's not Ricky's time or anything. It's just the fact that we know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. We know MJF is not losing the belt for a long time.
That big Burberry belt, that Triple B.
Yeah. Yeah, he would not have gotten his own belt if he was going to be losing it. So, but this right here, I think when you go back and watch it, I think this might be the first time other than Regal that somebody has been able to match MJF in a promo.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, him and CM Punk had really good battles.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I will take that back. Him and CM Punk, they were pretty even, I felt like. But this and this was the first time you get to see somebody that can really come back at MJF, and you could see it on his face. He was just like, okay, I'm gonna just take it, because yeah, you got me here, you got me.
I also wonder if, depending on how close they actually are behind the scenes, like, it's very easy to roast your friends.
Yeah.
You know so much, you know the buttons to press, things like that. So it's pretty easy to go out there and kind of get away with certain things, and like you kind of know what you can go with, because to be honest, you probably talk the same kind of trash behind the scenes. He probably literally backstage goes, "Hey, MaxiPad, want to go get lunch?" Yeah, it was it definitely felt like some hallway trash talk. So you're saying it's the best trash talk since Hobbs and I forgot who he was, Hobbs and Ricky, whoever they were teaming up against. That's when they were going for a tag team championships, and he called them, and Hobbs said "trick ass bitch," or was it Ricky who said it? It was Hobbs, right?
That was Hobbs. Yeah.
That's it. Starts dressed like a grandpa.
Yeah, he called, was it Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus? He called trick ass bitches.
Probably because that's who would have been champions, but at the same time,
No,
they
I
were
think
fighting
I
with. It
remember
was a
what it
triple
was.
threat.
It was, yeah.
Was
So
it Swerve and Keith Lee?
It was Swerve and Keith Lee. They had just had a match, and then Ricky and Powerhouse Hobbs came out talking shit, and he called them trick ass bitches. And then the Young Bucks were like, "Hey, why don't you take the belts off of us?" Yeah, that was that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. Oh shit, I forgot to mention. So Ricky Starks talked about MJF's cheap shoes earlier in that promo. When MJF got speared by Ricky, his shoes fell off. I thought that was great. I don't know if that was on purpose. If it was on purpose, even better on them for doing that. But
maybe a mix of both, because I know typically the kind of the shoes that you would wear with like suits and stuff, you tend not to tie them like super tight, like you're about to go play sports.
Yeah, but they were like loafers, though.
Oh,
yeah. So
them
no
bitches go
tying
flying.
necessary. Yeah, they just flew off, and he's just carrying his shoes and his belt away. Like he's doing his little morning walk of shame. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where to go from here now.
Anything else related to either of them throughout the night?
No, that's why I'm trying to figure it out where I'm gonna go from here. I got one of two ways. Let's see here. You know what? Let's go with. Let's go with some of the women's segments. Jamie Hayter had a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone.
I know I missed the interview of the year, man. Okay, I need to ask you.
Ask me.
The prediction that I made, was it even remotely close to what happened?
Nope.
So Britt did not come in and.
Nope. She was not there for this at all.
I'm surprised, but I'm also happy.
You know what? You're right and you're wrong. I'm gonna get to why you're right, kinda, after I talk about this Jamie Hayter interview.
Okay.
So, Jamie Hayter, Britt actually it's just Tony and Jamie Hayter. No Britt. I was expecting her to walk up as soon as Tony asked her a question. No. Jamie got to answer the questions. What did they talk about during this interview? This very, very short interview? Not Jamie Hayter. They talked about her thoughts on the women's division.
So
yeah, this was basically it was to hype up her next challenge.
But also continues with the story of what they said, like, why aren't you interviewing the new champ? Why isn't this about Jamie right now? And literally she gets her sit down interview.
Yeah, I'm like, she's got a sit down interview. The shortest sit down interview I've ever seen in AEW, and she doesn't get to talk about herself. She has to talk about the women's division, and she specifically mentions that, Tony brought up the match between Hikaru Shida and the Bunny that's going to take place on Rampage.
I wonder who's going to win that.
Yeah, and
also happy.
Yeah, Jamie's like, oh yeah, the women's division is tough. I'm on top of the totem pole. I'm going to be a fighting champion. Whoever wins on Friday can have a shot at this. And Tony says, "Oh, you're going to give a shot to whoever wins the match on Friday, adding stakes to the match." And it's like, yeah, I said I'm a fighting champion.
Now, did she have more natural? Did she have a solid natural charisma?
There wasn't much. I feel like there wasn't even enough to say that she had any charisma there.
Like we both would agree and did in the past that like Claudio, when he first got his chance to talk by himself, just none of it.
Yeah. So I can definitely say not bad. Definitely not bad. I can say that at the very least. I'm not completely vested in Jamie Hayter, but I want to be, and they just were like, nah, you don't get to be. We're not going to talk about Jamie Hayter. We're going to talk about Hikaru Shida and the Bunny during our sit-down interview.
I
Jamie
feel
Hayter.
Like her first big story where you start to get meat to the bones and layers to the story is gonna come when the Brit stuff happens.
I think so as well. Since you mentioned Brit, there's an interview backstage with Saraya. And this is where the Brit interruption that you were talking about earlier happened. Because Saraya doesn't really get to say anything during her interview. Of course, Brit walks up right away. Saraya doesn't make any sense. How come her first match back got to be on pay-per-view against, someone like her? She didn't really make any good points, unfortunately, here. I felt like.
I mean, that is a good point, but we all know why. Yeah,
we all know why. I mean, but it's like, all right, you're not really. I don't feel like you're making your case here at all, because now you're just bringing up the fact that you lost to somebody that hasn't wrestled in 9 years or however many years they said it was. So it's like, all right, well, yeah, why does she get this privilege? But at the same time,
why did you lose?
Yeah. But Britt pulls out some tickets to, I'm not 100% certain. Yes, it was January 4th. I had to look at the calendar real quick and make sure that was a Wednesday. She gave her tickets to the January 4th Dynamite front row and says, here, since you're not a wrestler and all that, you can just come to the show, or if you want to wrestle, basically let me know.
So
I'm down for my rematch.
Is January 4th going to be a themed episode or something so closely after? Oh, that's just going to be their New Year's episode.
Yeah. Because that'll be their first episode of the year. So that makes sense. Yep. First episode of the year. So you want to set some nice matches for it.
I'm surprised
set some stuff with some hype.
I'm actually kind of surprised. The Saturday before would be New Year's Eve. That'd be kind of like an opportune time to set like a battle of the belts instead of doing like a special Dynamite, to actually have one on. But never mind. Yeah, doing any kind of
ratings. Ratings on a New Year's Eve, like the nighttime. Probably trash.
Unless unless they were like, hey, we're going to wrestle in Times Square.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the only way you could do it, because who the hell is about to be at their New Year's party watching wrestling? I mean, I love me some wrestling, but I doubt that I would ever be at a New Year's party where people were just watching wrestling.
Hold on, no, I could think of one.
There's one.
I mean, you'd have to. Okay, it's theoretical or
There's one.
hypothetical. WCW did shows at one of the biggest clubs in the country, down in Florida in Panama City Beach. They ran a lot of nitros and stuff at Club La Vila.
Oh.
You would do a New Year's Eve at Club La Vila.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would have to basically do something like that where you're not worried about the crowd size.
Yeah, I'd do that. Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe I stand to be potentially corrected. But most people are not trying to watch wrestling.
Yeah, it'd be a bad move.
On New Year's Eve. It would be a bad idea to do Battle of the Belts that day. Yeah. Belts.
So,
speaking of belts,
Jamie's gonna get her. So, sorry, not Jamie, but Britt's gonna get her win back January 4th. I swear to God, if Soraya wins both times and it's the only time she's fucking wrestled in like 4 months, I will be pissed.
I feel like they can't do that. Like, they're probably going to make a series out of it, like a 2 out of 3 kind of thing.
What if they save the third for when Britt eventually gets into it, Jamie? Britt can take the title off Jamie, and you can have the rubber match at like All Out next year.
I would be down for that.
Or since New Japan doesn't use women, move that up a few months and you can let that be the women's championship match on like Forbidden Door. I think Double or Nothing would be too soon to transition through those champions though.
Yeah, that's too quick. It's too quick. I mean, Britt had a decent enough reign to where you don't have to give her the title for long whenever she gets it again, because obviously she'll get it again some point. But
you're talking like 6 months that you'd have to go from Jamie to Britt and then be having the Saraya match, which you're probably at that point, maybe Saraya becomes your new champion.
That's about right. I mean, or really what we can do is let Willow Nightingale take the belt off of Jamie.
I think you're wrong on that one. I still think Willow makes a lot more sense for her story to end up beating Jade.
Yeah. Because just like that little promo she had with Jade a while back where she's just like, yeah, you keep winning and you keep beating me, but I'm going to keep trying.
But also,
she's like, you can't keep winning forever.
Exactly. She would still win a championship. Granted, it wouldn't be the world championship, but she would be winning a championship. But more importantly, she would be ending the streak. And that is probably the biggest deal out of all of that.
All right. Willow for TBS champ. I changed my mind. Let Jamie keep her belt. Willow for TBS champ. And then she can take Jamie's belt too. After. But assuming it'll be on someone else. But TBS champ. That's a good segue into our next match, or well, one of the matches on the card here. Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Layla Gray,
the
aka
baddies.
The Baddies, versus Kiera Hogan and the Step Family, Madison Rayne and Sky Blue.
Go back, watch old streams, and if it doesn't already make sense to you, find references to them in the past.
Yeah. You'll understand. You probably already understand even without the context. But Jade and Layla and Red Velvet, they look good together.
Does it feel weird not having Kira with them though?
You know, it actually didn't feel weird to me.
Wonder if it's because you stayed with, 3, so it wasn't
I think
addition or
that's what it is.
subtraction.
Yeah, because if there had been like, if it had just been like Jade and Layla or Jade and Red Velvet, then it would have been weird. But since they've built up Layla enough to where she feels like she's supposed to be there, and Red Velvet was already there, it's fine.
Because I feel like if
Like,
you think of Jade with just one person by your side, that
mhm.
person you're probably picturing in your head has blue hair and was on the other side of the ring tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so they, Kiera Hogan and Madison Rain and Sky Blue actually come out to Kiera Hogan's music all together. Yeah, yeah. I was happy
It's
about that.
happening!
I was so happy about it. The crowd is getting behind Kiera too.
Bro, if
So
Kiera, if it's not Willow and it's Kiera here soon,
I'm all right with that.
like
More
my
than
two
all right with
favorite,
that.
my two favorite, go to bed and they might pop up in my dream women of AEW would be both the champions.
Because Kiera's got it, man. I think they realized it and they pulled her away from those baddies so that she could go babyface by herself. Because the crowd is starting to get behind her already, real fast.
Man, I
Like
remember.
it didn't take much.
I feel like your introduction, like the whole Kiera introduction, was somewhere similar to that time that Rusev came back and I popped like a motherfucker. And so like I was so happy that she had got signed and she was gonna have a match, and I was so excited for her arrival in AEW.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I think it's finally time for her singles push. Thank you. Yes, as he's mouthing "thank you" over and over. But yes, it is definitely time for Kiera's singles push. Crowd is behind her. She looks good in the ring. She's always looked good in the ring to me, but she's looking even better in the ring lately. Speaking of looking better in the ring, Sky Blue, she keeps getting better and better too.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see her, I like her a little bit more, because at first I was just like, okay, she's just a cute girl.
So I always struggle, especially with the shorter women, because let's face it, I mean, the shorter women are like 5 feet tall, the shorter men are like 5'8".
Yeah.
I mean, I think Silver's a little bit shorter than that, but not much. But the average is different.
Yeah, he's definitely shorter.
The ropes don't change their height depending on who's in the ring. So there's certain moves that don't look the same with the women as they do with the men, because just everything's different. You can't, we don't see a woman hopping to the top rope like Dante Martin.
No, you don't. Not at all.
So I always struggle with some
too
of
many
them.
that are on top ropes.
So I struggle sometimes with certain wrestlers, like trying to figure out, okay, just does this move not necessarily look better or worse? Or is it just it's done differently because of the fact that they're not the same size? And some of it I can tell now because I've seen people like Sky Blue get improve to the point where, like, okay, that used to look awkward, now it doesn't look awkward.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mainly what I see watching Sky Blue now. So, because before I was like, that's kind of awkward. Like, it's a little sloppy, needs some work. Now I'm like, okay, she's definitely been working. She's been working hard. She's getting better and better. So go ahead, Sky Blue. Madison Rain is Madison Rain. she's been wrestling forever, so of course anything she does is going to look good. It's just not going to be fast because she definitely doesn't move fast.
How'd this end?
How did this match end? This match ends with a Jaded, of course.
But to who?
It was on Madison Rain.
Okay. I was like, I feel like it can't be Kiera, but it can be either of the other two.
So Kiera, right before that, had gotten a decent amount of offense and got knocked out of the ring.
Okay.
And yeah, then we get the Jaded or was it Sky Blue? God dang it. Now I can't remember.
Hey, as long as it wasn't Kiera Hogan, either of the other two.
This match was definitely for two things, which was making Kiera look better. It made also was to make Layla Gray look like a beast too.
Nice.
She got a lot of nice offense in this one too.
So they made Red Velvet the weak link on that team?
Yes, definitely. Red Velvet was definitely the weak link. Jade didn't do much as per usual. She just sent Red Velvet and Layla Gray out there, and because she's just a closer, she comes in, she makes people get jaded, and then she flexes.
Wait, you might have forgot. Half the time there's that lick of her hand while she pins somebody.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one too. You got to do that one.
I liked it when Nyla made fun of it so much. Like she was attacking her hand like a fucking puppy dog.
Nyla Rose. We need Nyla Rose. Please put Nyla Rose back on TV again. Don't make Nyla Rose go back to dark, please. I was enjoying every single one of those segments. They were great.
She being like the monster among the division is one of those things that's great because it doesn't matter who the champion is. She can always be a credible first challenger, and that's how she was used. I mean, she did have a championship reign in the beginning of AEW, but that's how she was used. Like, it felt like whoever became champion, first opponent, Nyla Rose.
First opponents. Speaking of first opponents, Joe's first defense of the TNT title was against Darby Allin.
Wait, was it not a defense when he toyed with, what was it last week? Because we talked about how we... AR Fox.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I forgot that was even a title defense. I was just happy to see AR Fox on TV.
I was happy to see Samoa Joe as champion in AEW.
That too.
So
okay, so it wasn't his first title defense. It was his first title defense on Dynamite, though, I think, right? Or was that match on Dynamite?
It might have been. I don't remember.
Shit. I feel like that was I hope that was a Rampage, so I can at least say it was his first Dynamite defense. Either way, he did defend his belt. And defend it he fucking did. Because in typical Darby fashion, he got ripped apart the whole match. Like at one point, Joe had him outside of the ring, and he's, you know how they do that, get them up by their legs around their shoulders.
The muscle buster?
Like, no, not the finisher.
Okay.
You know, just in wrestling when they like swing them like a pendulum.
Okay.
That thing there. Yeah, he was doing that with Darby, swinging him around. Swung him into the ringside, swung him into the barricade, threw him on the ground.
Kind of like
he
the Claudio swing, but instead of a swing, it's, hey, I'm going to chuck you into the post. I'm going to chuck you into the barricade.
yeah, that's pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate.
I hate to burst your bubble, but it was on Dynamite.
Look, man, it was his first title defense against a white guy, okay?
It's his first title defense against somebody who had previously been a champion in AEW.
There we go. Yeah, first title defense against a previous title holder in AEW. Anyways, Joe ripped up some of the padding outside of the ring. So obviously Darby was going to get slammed into it. He didn't do that right away. He suplexed him on the padding outside the ring once. Then right before the commercial break, and this is how you do commercial break. AEW do it like this every time. Don't have good spots during the commercial. He gets a really big power slam on Darby right before the commercial. And as Darby is squirming around on the ground because he just got his back planted into the concrete by a 350-pound dude, or well, at least 300 pounds. But Joe hops up in his face and he's just like, "You can't beat me." And I'm like,
Either way,
Joe.
So from what I'm hearing is this match was like the epitome of a certain chant that we always hear. Joe is gonna kill you.
Yeah. And in their hype up video earlier, Darby had mentioned again how all the crowd was gonna chant was "Joe is gonna kill you." The crowd didn't chant that because he was already killing him. Like, you can't chant "Joe is gonna kill you" when you're half dead already.
Man, all you're doing is making me want to rip off these headphones out of frustration of the fact that I miss it. You remember my reaction when I missed Daddy Magic talk about his nipples for the first time? And it was like one of those things, like, rip your headphones, like, so far as you were describing it as one of the best things of the year, like, for that to even be referenced, like, I gotta edit quick so that way I can watch at least certain things, because now I want to watch specifically, not necessarily the match, but I want to watch that promo. Because the match itself, I'm assuming, along with other parts of the show, I don't have the time for tonight.
Yeah.
I can watch a promo.
Oh yeah. But that was. I didn't take much else from that promo other than the fact that he was brought up the whole "Joe is gonna kill you" thing again, because Joe killed him. He definitely killed him. Because Darby got maybe 30 seconds of offense in this match. I might be not being nice. Maybe a whole minute. He might have got a whole minute of offense in this match. Because he got a couple counters in. Got a coffin drop, of course, onto Joe off the top rope onto the outside.
Okay.
Outside the ring, yeah. That was pretty nice. So we're starting to actually get towards the end of the match, because the match is going to end if Darby starts to get any kind of offense going. So while Darby is on the offensive here, he's hops up on the top. So we got Joe in the middle of the ring. He hops up on the top rope. Joe is like, "Nah, fuck that. I know what you're about to do." So instead of letting him try to dive on him, he comes close to him and tries to go for an avalanche muscle buster, which I thought they should have did, but Darby bit him and he fell off the rope. Right. Darby goes for the coffin drop. Whoa.
So, not to bring it down, but I would actually be really scared of that spot. It was a freak accident. Things happen every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But just a straight up regular muscle buster has ended careers.
Okay.
Well, I can't say careers, but I know of at least one. It was the move. Somebody's neck got messed up. They don't blame each other. It's just, I think it's one of those things. It's like football players running down the field and they just ACL goes out kind of thing.
Ish happens, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, because I don't know, that would have been a cool ass spot. But yeah, I guess if the Muscle Buster can kill people or kill careers, then it didn't need to be done. I mean, we still did get a nice Muscle Buster later. So after Joe's attempt at the Avalanche Muscle Buster, as I said, Darby bit him. He's biting off his face, and Joe, get off me, falls off the ropes, and he's down there in perfect position for Darby to hit that coffin drop. Darby dives off the top rope. Joe counters into a rear naked choke.
The way that you were setting that up, I was already picturing in my head. Joe does a 90-degree turn. Darby drops right into position for the choke.
Yep. Yeah, just as you picture it. And the match ends with, of course, Darby is an all-heart kind of wrestler, so he doesn't tap out. He just goes to sleep. Match ends. Joe's the winner. After the match, it actually kind of looked, so Joe was, hanging out in the ring a little bit, grabbed his belt. It's kind of been a tough match, beating the hell out of Darby so much. But yeah, he grabs the belt. Darby's like coming back too. He gets up, and it looked like Joe actually might, like, he was doing the menacing walking towards him, like trying to intimidate kind of thing, but it looked like it was going to be a handshake. Instead, Darby pushed him. Joe didn't touch Darby. Darby pushed Joe. So Joe headbutts Darby and knocks him out clean. Well, lays him out. He's not knocked out. Then Joe like knocks the ref out of the ring with a backhand. I keep forgetting who the short bald guy is. What's the name of the short bald
Bryce.
guy?
That's Remsburg.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. So he knocked him out of the ring. And then Joe gets Darby up again. And then he's like, wait. He goes and grabs Darby's skateboard. Sets the skateboard up right where he would normally drop someone for a muscle buster, right?
Okay.
And like I said, he didn't get to do the muscle buster earlier, so of course.
Did he do the avalanche?
No, not avalanche.
Okay.
No. He does a regular muscle buster onto Darby, or with Darby, onto that skateboard. Darby's gonna have one messed up back one day, I'm telling you.
Well, it was Darby's back onto it. Did the skateboard break?
No.
Okay, because I feel like that's more realistic, but I think usually in wrestling, we always saw, they kind of tinker with things.
Yeah. No, the skateboard did not break. Darby's gonna have a messed up back. He's gonna have that Matt Hardy back one day.
I will say his reason for the coffin drop is very, very smart. He's like, okay, the scariest thing is diving backwards, but honestly, because he doesn't try to do like 450s or anything like that, he's not going to slip and fuck up and break his neck.
Yeah, like he can't mess it up. It's just it's a trust fall every time.
Your neck might be safe, Darby, but your back is fucked.
Yeah, like Darby doing trust falls every night. It's a little rough. But so Joe still wasn't done with Darby after that. So after the muscle buster on the skateboard, he goes he puts him in a sleeper hold now, not the rear naked choke this time. Puts him in a sleeper hold. Wardlow music hits. Wardlow comes charging down to the ring. Joe skedaddles. He actually looked kind of scared.
All right. Now I know the first time that I'm going to hit fast forward.
Yep, Joe actually looked a little scared, and that's how we ended that with Wardlow in the ring. Eventually, those two are going to have to face off in a one-on-one where Wardlow probably gets his belt back. Or at least that's what I think will happen. What do you think is going to happen with that? Because obviously it's coming soon.
I could see Joe retaining.
Mm-hmm.
Could easily see it, and then you kind of start to work Wardlow towards the MJF route.
Okay.
But I don't. Honestly, I'm with you though. I think in all likelihood he's gonna end up getting the belt back.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other way they can do it. I really don't think there's any other way they can do it. When is basically my question now.
True, because also Hobbs' issue isn't with Wardlow, so you can't even try to go like an interference route. That would make sense. Unless you did a Hobbs tries to help Wardlow, or not necessarily help Wardlow, but fuck with Joe.
Yeah,
it
more like
backfires.
Fuck you, even the score. Like you cheated in our match, so you don't get this win here.
But it has to backfire.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like he do the thing where Hobbs goes to fuck with Joe, but it backfires on Wardlow and allows Joe to be Wardlow again. And then Wardlow's issues now with Hobbs.
And then they're like, yeah, we're the two meatiest men in this in this locker room. Let's meaty man it up.
And then that's killing time until Wardlow circles to MJF and he loses to MJF because we already said MJF's not losing.
Yeah, it's a done deal. MJF is not dropping the belt.
I'm just saying, I could see something like that happening, and it would make sense if you're trying to move Wardlow up sooner. But no, yeah, I definitely feel like Wardlow will be champion again very, very soon.
Yes. All right.
Speaking of champions, I was thinking about this earlier. Almost all AEW champions are someone that I have liked for a long time, and I don't know if I've ever been this lucky in wrestling. MJF, Jamie Hayter, I love Samoa Joe. Not necessarily who I would have like a year ago had told you who I wanted because he wasn't there. TBS champions, that's what we were just talking about. Like, if it was Kiera, another favorite. So that, and soon enough, with the Best of 7 series, the Elite as Trios champions. It's so close to almost being perfect for me right now. With like all favorites. Because the one last team on that list is the Acclaimed.
Hey, we got them on the list. Shit, let's get on. Let's go ahead and get into that. Why not?
I'll be honest, it was the only segue I knew I could make the entire show.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So we are So the beginning of this, I'll 100% the beginning of this, and then you'll probably know at some point where you popped in. So the rap in the beginning, one highlight from this was the caster said FTR is going to lose like Herschel Walker in reference to the Georgia runoffs, which thank goodness he lost. People, pay attention. Stop voting by name. Sorry, I'm not trying to get political. I mean, I just did, but my bad. Anyways, just pay attention when you're voting, y'all. Please. But yeah, he says that FTR is gonna lose like Herschel Walker, and I love that because they always come with it. Will come with those current events. Gotta be great. So this match, though, the most serious I've ever seen Max Caster. He starts out like they start out the match with a lot of acclaimed antics. Of course, like Caster is doing like basically a big wiggle in the middle of the ring for no reason. But it gets serious as it goes on, especially with Bowens. Like Bowens, you could tell he was up for having an FTR kind of match.
Oh,
that no bullshit, the back and forth, just the chop fest.
yeah.
You saw the chop fest between him and Cash.
Was literally Dax.
Or Dax, sorry. Yeah.
I mean, it could have happened with both of them, but the one I came in on was with Dax, and I think they either went one trade, or they did two and then traded. But either way, there was like 4 or 6 chops, and literally, I love Dax's strikes. They're always good. Bowens were right on bar.
Yeah, Bowens was like I said, Bowens was up for the FTR challenge today. Because FTR is, I think it's safe to say that they're the most physical wrestlers. Like, it always looks like they've really got into a fight when they wrestle. And Bowens was all about it, and I loved that. So he got both of them for a good while with some solid offense, just kicking the shit out of both of them, literally kicking both of them quite a bit. Dude, I loved this match though. Just it was so not acclaimed.
And we talked about this because we talked about Bowens was definitely the wrestler, and like the acclaimed heading into becoming champions, and since becoming champions, we've seen Max Caster do things we had not seen Max Caster do. Like, he was stepping it up in the ring, but we always knew Bowens was gonna be the guy that could go. Yeah. Bowens can. I mean, but Caster is like, he looks like he really wants to be serious about being a champion here. I don't know how or why, but like in the last 6 months, Caster has gotten so good. Like, because when I first started watching AEW, Max Caster was just, I was like, I like his gimmick, but he sucks. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I thought he sucked when I saw him. I was like, the gimmick's cool, but he sucks. He was very basic. It was basically, he was the road dog of the New Age Outlaws.
But now seeing Max Caster, I want to see Max Caster in the ring almost as much as I want to hear his raps.
It's just, out of those two, like, Bowens would be the one I would expect to hang with FTR.
Oh yeah, he did. He delivered in trying to hang with FTR. So you were there for most of this match. You take notice to who the crowd was behind it during this one?
I feel like it was kind of even. There was I heard FTRs in there that were pretty good, but I feel later it definitely became more towards the Acclaimed.
Yeah. So the match started off mostly Acclaimed. In the middle, when FTR was getting some good offense in, like when they catapulted Caster under the ring
Which
and
I was
did a
surprised by.
bunch of stuff. Yeah, like when they were getting some good, like they were doing a decent amount of heel type stuff here. Like I think they knew they had to play heel in this because everyone loves the Acclaimed, and it showed here because the crowd was more for the Acclaimed than FTR. Like FTR, they got their love, but when it came down to it, the crowd wanted the Acclaimed to win this match.
Probably towards early mid, there was just a time where I definitely heard like they were doing trading chants for a minute in there.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good. Like they had a good crowd battle going with it. But after that, it kind of went one way.
That, yeah, like it started, like I said, it started off Acclaimed and ended Acclaimed. In the middle, it was split.
We'll have to get to it, but I just don't want to forget. I feel like after the match, with all the stuff that happened after, there was a really good reaction then when they weren't facing the Acclaimed, and it should be noted.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that because
I just didn't want to forget.
I was not excited for Final Battle at all until a certain match was announced, and I was like, I think I need to see it.
There was like 1 or 2 matches on Final Battle that I was like, okay, I could enjoy that, but there wasn't a single one.
There wasn't a must-see match,
but there is now. We'll get to that.
Now. Yeah, and we'll get to that because I guess there's a little bit more to the match to say because FTR playing up the heel bit here. Like, do you see when Dax rolled up Max, or was it Max? I think it might have been Bowens that he rolled up and he grabbed the trunks.
Yeah, it was Bowens because Caster was full up tights. It was Trunks.
Yeah,
it was Bowens.
Yeah, he grabbed Bowens' trunks. Yeah, during doing the roll up pin, and I was like, oh, they're like real, like the double team offense they were doing and stuff. Like they were really playing up the heel bit here. But as you saw, like even Keith Lee did a lot of heel moves against the Acclaimed, just because I think the crowd is just not going to be for you if you're facing the Acclaimed.
I think they're not necessarily fully heel, but there's a different demeanor. There's that like rebellious, extra physical kind of like sneering at the crowd, kind of like, oh, you're not on my side, because I did notice the trunk things, but I also noticed it wasn't egregious.
Right.
It's like he grabbed it to kind of hold, as opposed to pulling it where the ass crack is showing practically, like a lot of times it's done.
Yeah, like most of the times it's done. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting that because they've been 100% babyface.
The big one for
all
me,
of 2022.
The big one for me, and I don't feel like it's worthy of a hit in the night because I only saw like a 1/6 of the show.
Well, you still get one.
Why? It was, you already mentioned it. I don't see catapults that often, like even under the ring ropes in wrestling anymore. But no, FTR flipped off the apron to expose like the metal support bars that go underneath the edges of the ring. That's probably it's another 1.5 feet, maybe to 2 feet below the ring. And they did the catapult to Max. I mean, they hit it well, so you didn't really see what happened, so you just kind of infer. But
yeah,
to see that move used that way, you don't
see that. Yeah, you never see that anymore. The catapult is I feel like I've mentioned it to you before. It's not like I'm sad that people don't use it anymore. It's just odd that people don't really use that anymore because it used to be such a common spot in wrestling.
The falling back thing and sending them into the turnbuckle.
Yeah, like that one. Damn near every match. And I'm like, I've seen it maybe like 2 or 3 times.
Ooh, you want to know
in
one big
all the
reason
wrestling
that
I've watched
fails
in the
though?
last year. What?
That turnbuckle spot, it's harder to do when the wrestlers are so much shorter because they have to jump and it just looks so much faker.
True.
Versus
That's
back in the
true.
90s, it was a basic move for guys who were like
It was
6'5".
like, all right, 6'7" on 6'7". Like it's 2 Billy Guns going at it. Got to catapult each other. Yeah. But yeah, it's a much less commonly used spot in wrestling now, so it's really cool when you see it. It used to be super annoying to me, but now it's cool when I see it just because it's not overused.
Just, I don't know if I've ever seen it under the
super kick.
I just don't know if I've ever really seen it that often ever used underneath the ring. It was usually like the ropes.
Never, you don't see it used that way either. Not at all. Let's move on into this match here as we go through here. We talked about the roll up. So FTR, they knock Caster out of the ring for a bit there, and then they're starting to get their big double team moves on Bowens. That spike pile driver they hit on him was, ugh. Just pile drivers in general just always give me a shudder just knowing how many injuries have happened from pile drivers.
It's instantly, you're just trying to make sure you see movement.
Yeah, you're just instantly just like, please move your neck. Please move your head. Please move your head. Okay, cool. All right, continue. But yeah, it's always like that brief moment where you're just like, I just want to make sure his head moves.
Is it selling or not?
Yeah. Like, let's see that. So, but that was pretty nasty. I was thinking that Caster was going to have to break the pin up on this, but he actually kicked out of that one.
Yeah, I was kind of split on that too. I was like, the FTR is gonna win?
Yeah, because I was like, wait, what? So they're gonna win this match? And then he kicked out of that. Because that move was so good that it didn't look like a you should kick out of it kind of move.
And they had just taken Caster out, so it made 0 sense for Caster to be back already to break it up. So I was, yeah. So yeah, that was but the end that sets the tone for the end of the match. As the last few minutes of this match is just near fall after near fall after near fall, and you're just like, like FTR, because I came into this match being 100% certain the Acclaimed were coming out of this with the belt still. But a couple of moments in here had me say, oh shit, is FTR gonna have 4 belts? Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, I'm right there with you. I'm never ruling out putting the belts on FTR in any given match.
Yeah,
but I definitely place a bet on the Acclaim tonight. But
yeah, I put all my money on the Acclaim tonight.
A couple times I wasn't so sure. I'm like, this makes no sense. Look at the clock. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was near fall after near fall. Caster rolls up Dax, Caster rolls up Cash. Cash gets out of it. Cash hits a big clothesline. Caster barely kicks out of that. just everything. And then Caster gets another roll up at the end. for the win.
I'm trying to remember. It was like it was a counter to a counter, but they're standing up doing some kind of move. But I don't. Was he going for a power bomb and then he went to bridge out the power bomb or something? No.
I'm trying to remember because I don't remember the power bomb spot.
It was.
I don't know why I don't remember that.
It was by Cash. He landed pretty kind of higher towards the shoulders too. But I'm trying to remember because there was something that like they rolled through and then Caster just rolled through the roll through. Got the win. To talk about FTR playing up the heels, the way that they kept showing Cash reacting in the ring, I was like, are they gonna go back to old FTR right now? Are they just gonna beat the shit out of the Acclaimed after the match anyway?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, this whole time, I was like, is FTR going heel? It doesn't like they like, yeah. If they're gonna be these like belt collector champion guy, like tag team champions, it would make more sense for them to be heels if doing that.
I feel like right now.
But yeah, like now, do we want to do that?
The only thing that's on the horizon would make sense to kind of force them to be champions is Wrestle Kingdom in January. Is if they wanted to send the AEW tag team titles over there too. But that's it. And that doesn't make sense for what's going on right now necessarily.
Not at all.
Now, if they attacked them and went full heel, it makes sense for like a rematch down the line, playing into a story. But
yeah, there's so many things surrounding this right now. Like during the match, we had the Lethal team, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh in the back, watching the match on screen. After the match, ass boys. The ass boys popped up on screen. And they're like, hey, FTR. Yeah, you thought we were going to interfere in the match. We didn't. But we got something for your asses, though. Written in blood. And they both pull out stockings. Like Christmas, they're like standing in front of a man, like a fireplace and all that. It's real Christmassy going on back there. It's cute. They got these stockings, and then out comes a note written in blood. FTR Briscoe's final battle.
But there was a stipulation that they wanted to attach to it. There's a
stipulation that they attached. They both go back to the stockings and pull out dog collars.
Double dog collar. Presumably Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match.
Yes. Or final battle. But yeah, this is the Briscoes challenge for FTR. And you know FTR is going to accept.
Yeah.
Their faces just made final battle fun.
Their faces in the ring was like Cash went from seeming pissed, like he was about to attack the Acclaimed, to all of a sudden just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, why are they back? Like, the Briscoes are back because you guys put on, I didn't see the first one, but the second one was definitely one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. And I saw it in shit quality.
Exactly what I was going to say. Now, I know there's other matches that we know will be good. I think there was one other match I can't think of at the moment that I even kind of look forward to. I do. Now I actually have to look at the cost and see what time it starts and everything. I'm like, damn it.
Starts at 4 on Saturday.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking with my God of Ragnarok plans.
Yeah. So
if it was a normal time, I could have played the afternoon and been playing Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And then cool. Prepare, figure out dinner. Be like, all right, let's watch Final Battle. 4 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got Jericho, Claudio for the world title.
Yeah.
FTR Briscoes for the tag titles.
Can't miss.
Yeah. Athena Mercedes Martinez.
You're probably more excited than I am.
I am, because I love both of them. We've got Swerve in Our Glory versus
Shane Taylor, JD Griffey.
Yeah, those guys.
Garcia versus Yuta.
Yeah, I forgot that was another title match. Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassy.
Wait, this isn't on there. Wait, cool.
It should be on there. Yeah, it got confirmed tonight,
cool.
So maybe it's not on there yet. But yeah, Dalton Castle and the Boys are defending
FTR's
the trios belts.
FTR's on
so
here,
Dalton
though.
Castle and the Boys should be on there then.
Am I missing it?
I'm pretty sure that was.
But either way,
announced tonight too.
Either way, do you remember who Samoa Joe is facing?
Samoa Joe. Ooh. Dang, I can't remember.
David, what happens to you when you get to take a sexy lady back to your place?
We play video games.
Do you get rock hard?
Oh yeah! Oh yeah, we got the juice, baby. I forgot about my boy Juice. Yeah, that was another title match. How did I forget about that one? I think there's something else that I'm leaving out. Something with the Kingdom and somebody.
Ooh, how exciting!
Yeah, I think that's the only other thing that I think I remember hearing about. I have to look it up.
Is that who maybe was facing? Oh, never mind. You already said who was facing them. But speaking of one of those people that's on the Final Battle card, Garcia, he teamed with Jake Hager to go up against Claudio and Yuta tonight, right?
That is a thing that did happen. That is a thing that happened. Important to note during this match here that we do have Sammy Guevara and Jon Moxley at ringside. Which, before we go to this match, I actually am going to talk about a quick little Moxley video because he does talk about this match.
In a way that matters, Moxley spoke, and it was meaningful? What?
Maybe meaningful. So also one thing that was weird, I swore MJF said that Moxley was not here tonight during that part with Ricky Starks. I don't remember why he was bringing up Moxley, but I swear he said that Moxley wasn't there. And then literally the next segment after, other than, well, between here is the Darby. There was a Darby and Joe hype video, just kind of basically like, hey, this match is coming. But the next segment after that was Moxley. Like somewhere randomly in the arena. And I was like, wait, didn't MJF say Moxley's not there? Because he looks like he's there. Maybe he meant he's not able to wrestle or something tonight.
Oh.
But either way, that was out to me. But Mox just he addressed the elephant in the room about the state of the Blackpool. I can't even say it. Blackpool. The Blackpool Combat Club. They are they're still together, he says. They haven't broken up yet. The honeymoon phase may be over, but they're gonna work out their problems because they want to build a strong bond between men. No, that's not how.
What?
But yeah, he did say that the BCC is, we're still a unit, we're still a thing. There's been too much talking lately. We're gonna beat up on the JAS. Claudio and Yuta for sure are gonna be beating the JAS all week, mentioning that they'd have a match tonight, and then
Final battle.
At Final Battle, they're both going to beat them again. So it's just going to be a JAS ass whooping. He said that he's going to be more violent now because he is pissed off. And he doesn't fuck with Regal right now. That's what I understand.
I mean, custom title, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then he ends this by saying, oh, Hangman, you know where to find me. But where the fuck was he though? This video was done in front of a garage door. He's like, you know where to find me, and I'm like, you're standing in front of a random garage door. What do you mean he knows where to find you?
There can only be so many parking spots around the arena.
I was like
built in.
I'm like, unless if you work in that arena, you probably don't know where to find him right now. Mox.
So you were starting to talk about some kind of important piece of information about this, and I have to ask probably what could be the most important piece of information. Did Jake Hager keep his purple hat on the entire match?
No, he did not.
So disappointed.
He had an extra hat on him, given to Claudio. Just a little preview of his future as a JAS member. Claudio takes the hat, starts getting ready to put it on. Nah. He takes the hat off, and he never actually put it all the way on. He just pulls it off his head and punts it away, literally punts it, like football punts it, and it doesn't even go into the crowd. The hat stops before it gets to the first row.
I'll be honest, I'm sitting there thinking about, I'm trying to kick a bucket hat, it's probably getting caught on my foot.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's better than it getting caught on his foot. But yeah, it didn't even make it into the front row. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the hat antics for this match. Other than that, of course, Sammy cheats. Because Sammy always cheats.
JS is systematic cheating, man. Just listen to Tony Schiavone.
And Mox, not being the sharpest tool in the shed, he doesn't just get rid of him from the start. So Sammy has more than one opportunity to cheat throughout this match. Yuta got his ass whooped during this match. He was definitely not meant to look good in this. So maybe he's winning Saturday, because he definitely got his ass whooped the most.
And I think we're both on the same page that Jericho should win, so Claudio would lose. So Yuta wins, Claudio loses.
That's what I'm thinking here. Yeah, like because the BCC has to break up if they both lose. I feel like because Claudio's already going to be gone by default.
Oh yeah.
Because Jericho's reign's not going to be over that fast. Not back to Claudio, at least.
I don't
Yeah.
know who it's gonna be. I don't. Do you think Jericho losing it has to be a part of the whole former Ring of Honor champions thing, or do you think it'll be outside of that? Like once he runs out of most of them.
I think once he runs out of most of them, they'll probably, hopefully, they'll have someone that's like a big upcoming kind of person that they can throw at him.
Well,
Like, hey, you've built the guys that were already champs.
I mean, they
But you
have
can't beat
that.
me, though.
They have that.
Mm-hmm.
The only question is he healthy, or will he be healthy? Because the answer is simply Adam Cole.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. If he comes back, I think he would be the right one to take the belt off him.
All right. So if Jericho has like an open challenge and we don't know who it is, and it's a big event, like either a themed Dynamite or a pay-per-view, although I can't imagine them doing an open challenge on a pay-per-view. But if it does, that's where I'm looking. But
So
this tag match though.
During this match, if you were to see a Hurricane Rana done, who do you think would do it?
Jake Hager. No. Are you gonna go with Claudio?
Yeah, Claudio did do a Hurricane Rana. It was interesting to see.
Yeah.
Jake Hager get Hurricane Rana, Claudio.
Man, I've seen him bust out a few times. I feel like that's his showcase move. Like, look at how athletic I am outside of just being stronger than everybody.
Yeah, he's like, look at me. I'm big and I can backflip too. I was like, if anyone did one of those, I would have thought it was going to be Yuta. But Yuta didn't
Garcia.
do one. Yeah. Like, and then I've never seen Garcia do one, but I would still expect to see it before Claudio. I definitely wouldn't expect one from Hager. Because he does that Hager bomb thing, and that was only cool because Vader was fat.
Have you ever seen Hager do a Hurricane Rana? It's amazing. It's the best in the business.
Okay.
I can't recall one.
Yeah.
But dude's athletic, so who knows?
He didn't get to do a whole lot in this match. This was making Claudio look strong for Saturday, and Yuta getting his ass beat a lot. But Garcia looked pretty good. So it was Claudio and Garcia that looked the best in this match. I liked it. So towards the end here, we get a nice spot where Sammy comes in for another distraction. Claudio's about to try and hit a finisher on Hager, and then here comes Sammy. Mox grabs Sammy's foot off the rings and then finally beats his ass so he can't interfere anymore. And I'm like, dog, why didn't you do that from the start? You could have whooped his ass a long time ago and your boys probably would have already won this match.
Man,
yeah, so he takes the third man out of the match for the other team.
If you were him, like specifically him, wouldn't you have just always been like standing 10 feet away from Sammy, only watching Sammy during the course of this match.
Yes.
Like, that is your role at
Like,
this
just
point, knowing they
like,
cheat.
Yeah, because basically you just know that you need to be the enforcer, and he's just kind of hanging out way on the other side, cheering for his boys. And then Sammy's just like, ha ha, I can cheat and run away because Moxley is on the opposite end of the ring and he can't outrun me. So, but he got him there because, of course, he was making sure that Claudio didn't hit his stuff and Hager got a chance to recover. But yeah, so now that Sammy is out of the picture, of course, Hager does get some offense out of that distraction. Hits the, what is his? I forgot what his move is. He just does like the MMA slam. I forget whatever but I think they have a name for it, but I call it an MMA slam because you only see people do it in MMA. It's like almost like a judo throw, but not the same thing.
It's the one that you kind of get him up in that like bear hug position at first, and then you slam him down to your side.
Yeah, that. So yeah, he gets one of those, gets Claudio in an ankle lock right after. Transition was real smooth. It's pretty nice, Hager. I would not want to fight Hager for real, just seeing how smooth he transitioned. I'm like, yep, that man will just break your ankle off real fast. You'll never know what happened.
Not for like this, high level of MMA, but they're not lying, he has competed.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to fuck with him.
I've heard that he's actually won some MMA matches on like CM Punk. Yeah, so he's locked Claudio in the ankle lock in the middle of the ring, and then Yuta's laying in the middle of the ring, and Garcia comes in and he's like, I know what's up. He puts him in a dragon sleeper. So they got their little spot with both of them. Oh, who's gonna tap out? Nobody taps out. Claudio counters, knocks Hager into Garcia. Garcia gets knocked out of the ring. Claudio gets the win here with his pop-up uppercut on Hager.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I mean, on the right person, I can see that finishing the match in wrestling. But I'm surprised on someone like Hager.
Because it was like a quick finish kind of here. Yeah, but it was kind of an abrupt finish right there.
Hope everyone's all right, that nothing got thrown off, or wonder if they just realized they fucked up the timing of their match.
I really think that's more of what it was than anything. It just felt like they were like, hey, we need to finish. like because it was time to finish that match. Because we had a whole lot more to go after that match. Because after the match ends, BCC stays in the ring. Tony Schiavone comes out. And he's like, hey guys, I have something that I need you to see. It's an interview that I did with Regal 2 weeks ago. Here's the tape. And he just shows a video of the interview he did with William Regal. So now it's Regal, and he says, so first off, if you're seeing this, something happened to me. And he says, everything I do it for a reason. And when you're a bad guy like me and you've done all the things that you've done, you always think that there's somebody coming after you. So somebody's coming for him. But he said he did what he did because he needed to show the Blackpool Combat Club that they don't need him. I don't know. I wonder if this is like reference to the fact that that there's been a lot of rumors that he's going to be gone.
Oh, from I saw one today that basically said like it's gonna happen after the holidays and he can't be on TV. But I don't know. There's different things popping up all the different time in regards to that story, but everything points to he's gone. He may not be on TV again, who knows? But he gets to go work with and help train his son.
Yeah. He said he did what he had to do because he wanted to show them they don't need him. And he needs them to know that he is Blackpool Combat Club until the day he dies. And until the day I die.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, but we snap back into the ring. Tony asks what they think about it. Mox kind of blows that off. He's like, I know is that me and these other two guys here in the ring, we eat, live, and breathe wrestling. He's like, we're here to make a statement. These two are going to win belts on Saturday. And on Friday, I'm going to face whoever's got the guts to face me. So he just issued out basically an open challenge for Rampage here. Later on, it was announced that is going to be Konosuke Takeshita. So that should be nice for Rampage.
But it sucks because Takeshita has faced only a handful of people. It's not like he's faced a ton of people in AEW. Granted, it's nice to showcase him, but we've seen him face Mox. He's lost to Mox already. Unless you're gonna let him win, there was no need for this matchup.
Yeah. But I'm gonna enjoy it.
It'll be a fun match.
I'm definitely gonna enjoy it. I hear what you're saying though, because put Takeshita in the ring with somebody different this time, you know.
Give him W's.
Yeah, that too. Stop putting him out there to look good in a loss. At some point, people are gonna stop buying in.
So it's just
you gotta stop giving him all those losses.
Right, so it's a mixture of those two things. I'm like, you could have given him someone that he could have beat that still has like a profile. Like, honest to God, people are going to love Darby Allin either way. Let Takeshita beat Darby.
Yeah.
You know, there's people you can have him face and beat that matter.
Nah. Shit. He could face Malachi Black. I say that because there was a House of Black video on today. And that was the only thing that I didn't really cover here. Oh, nope, I missed one other thing. There's two more things left from this show. Two smaller things. A House of Black video. House of Black vignette. It was a little bit better than normal House of Black stuff for me. I don't know, maybe it's just because they were away for a while and I'm not bored. You know, I got a chance to not be bored with them anymore. After a while, I was like, all right, well, they're back. That's cool. But
we shall see.
Malachi. Yeah, Malachi says that this company needs to change. Basically, it needs to be cleansed. And House of Black is here to help out in their dark, twisted House of Black way. I don't remember what Julia said, but it was a really nice touch, like just the sound of her shoes clacking as she walks up behind him, and you can't see her yet because it's too dark, but you just hear the clack, 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 and then she's almost just appears right behind him and starts talking. I'm like, she's creepy. She's good at creepy. I like it. But yeah, I don't know, something about this House of Black return, it just feels different, and I'm kind of invested in it for once.
I've seen
Because
a couple times like when they're attacking all the lumberjacks, they actually sent a message to Cutler about like the people that he associates with. Just even being your delivery and the words you choose can still be different, but they've been a bit more concise. It felt like before there was like no like direct statements, no concise statements, nothing. This one, it feels like there's been a little bit more of a focus.
Yeah, like we know what they're doing. They are coming in and beating up on teams. Like that's what they're doing. Whenever teams are out there, they are going to go out. Like, yeah, granted, they're gonna walk up behind them when it goes black, but they're beating the shit out of every team in AEW.
Basically,
just to show, hey, we're coming for them trios belts.
So basically, they're just going to continue to beat up everybody for the next handful of weeks until that best of 7 tournament's over, and you've used this time to build them up to be the probable first feud for the Elite.
Yes, we do. Yeah, and I'm here for it because I was not here for House of Black before the whole. We thought Malachi wasn't even in AEW anymore, and then they come back, and I'm like, hey, all right, I like this better for some reason. It's kind of different. Thank you, House of Black, for giving me a break so that I could actually like you. I mean, I still don't think that most of them need that group at all, but still cool.
I mean,
I like it now.
Malachi would still be Malachi. That's the thing. The other ones would probably change it up a bit, but Malachi would still be Malachi.
Yeah. Buddy should definitely be different. Say, Brody. I feel like he'd probably just be Brody still.
I just mean he actually gets to talk sometimes. He might change up just like maybe his style a little bit and like the way that he speaks. Those kind of things. Just like the gimmick aspect. Not a huge change. Obviously their style is going to be the same. Buddy would be a much bigger change than Brody though. But I think Brody's been doing this kind of stuff so long with Malachi because they're legitimate friends and team together on the indies and stuff that it wouldn't surprise me if that's 100% of who he is, even without him.
Yeah, he's probably like, yeah, I'm still me, because that was me the whole time. I don't know. But yeah, House of Black looking cool. None of them were in the Diamond Battle Royale, which I feel like you could have had one of them in there. Although I guess you want them all to look invincible right now. But somebody that was in the Dynamite Battle Royale had a promo with Orange Cassidy later. Kip Sabian and Orange Cassidy standing face to face, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those, Orange Cassidy, you want this belt? All right, let's do it.
I would hope it would be something more considering Kip's involvement in his match on Friday.
Yeah. So, yeah, Orange Cassidy is just like, he's ready to wrestle. He's a lot less Orange Cassidy here. And just more of a wrestler, and yeah, a whole lot less chill. And he's like, hey, you want a shot? And Kip, is the whole time he's like holding the back of his neck because he got hit in the back of the head by Dustin Rhodes during the Dynamite Battle Royale. And and he's claiming that he's not at 100% and he can't accept the challenge for Rampage because of that vicious attack from Dustin Rhodes that he received. And so Orange Cassidy just says, so you're not going to wrestle me. Find somebody else to do it then, because I'm going to wrestle on Rampage. And then Kip gets this little maniacal look, and he's like, yeah, I think I can make that happen. So Orange Cassidy is going to face a challenger of Kip Sabian's choosing on Rampage.
There's something that I could say. There's something I could say, but Rampage is too small, and it. Do you want to know how Miro came into the company the first time?
How?
As Kip Sabian's best man for his wedding. I mean, they eventually split and, didn't get along anymore, but that is how Miro came into the company. But it's a fucking Rampage.
Yeah. Miro's been gone for so long, though. I mean, because I feel like that would be something you should put on Dynamite if Miro's if Miro's back. So I don't think it would be him, but that would make all the sense then if he was, if they have that connection. And Miro, if you remember, was cheated out of winning the All Atlantic title in the beginning.
Yes.
In the first match. So that would make a whole lot of sense.
But it's one of those things, it's me grasping at straws to try to get Miro back.
I know.
But it's a fucking Rampage. It's not happening.
No, it's not going to happen at all. I think we've already got...
Ooh. Okay, I'll take that back. What if they got tired because Rampage just had its record low ratings? And that's why we're getting Takeshita versus Mox. So they're trying to draw eyes to the show. If a return happened on it, that'd be one way to kind of say, hey, y'all need to start watching Rampage again. I still don't see it happening, but I'm still grasping at straws here.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen, but I would be pretty hype on it about that. Because that would make for a great Rampage. Like, you already know Takeshita and Mox, even though we've already seen it before, we know it's going to be a banger. So we at least got one high quality match on the card.
We have a title match on the card.
Yeah, I'm like, we got title match. If we had a Miro return too.
And that all happens within 2 matches, so you still have time for one more.
Yeah. And then this Dynamite was Dynamite.
I actually kind of wanted the whole ESPN alert that just because it's kind of like D sounding. Yeah. It just sounded so good right there. But
it's Dynamite.
Yup. Exactly. Oh my god, if I may actually have to go back to save this video just to clip the audio off that. That was perfect.
I just reminded myself of Black Dynamite because they kind of say his name like that. Dynamite.
That was so perfect though. I gotta figure out how to make that a sound effect and do it on the stream stuff so that way people can activate it. I mean, I could ask Rod about how to do it on Twitch and probably something similar, but it'd be
probably yeah. That was our Dynamite here. I know you only caught the end, but just in recapping, what do you think?
I wish I had the sound right now just so I could say Dynamite.
Trust me, It was a dynamite.
But anyways,
I hope I don't let you down.
it is 12:30 in the morning. Time to wrap
It
the
is
show up.
30.
Have yourselves a wonderful night. Like this video, share, comment, subscribe. What else can you do on YouTube? I mean, we haven't got to the point of other stuff yet.
Yeah.
Spread the word. The Book of Hobbs.
The Book of Hobbs. Also, join us in Discord. Talk about wrestling in there with us.
Yeah, link is in the description below. Catch y'all Friday night.
We'll be back.